Mustafa Cenap Aydın, it's a scholar activist specialized in sociology of religion, interreligious relations, diversity and inclusion. Born and raised in Istanbul, is co-founder and the director of Istituto Tevere in Rome, a center for interreligious studies, academic coordinator at the International Institute Jacques Maritain, a center for studies on human rights, democracy, and civil society. The title of his paper today is The Reception of the Document on Human Fraternity in the Muslim Community. Welcome, dear Mustafa Cenap Aydın, and the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the invitation. It's a great pleasure to be with you online in Warsaw and be part of this very important conference. And I would like to share with you some reflections, on how this Human Fraternity document of 4th of October 2019 is received in the Muslim world. But let me put it in an order. How can we approach to the document, to this topic this morning from this perspective? First of all, I will discuss a little bit. I will try to contextualize this document within the Catholic-Muslim relations. With the Catholic-Muslim relations, especially since the Regensburg lecture of Pope Benedict of 12th September of 2006, but also I'm after having explored the Muslim reception of the document. At the end, I will also try to again discuss, but also just leaving more time for the discussion too. How can we assess this document, Human Fraternity document, within the general history of Catholic-Muslim relations in the recent history, so that it should because as within a year, we will also celebrate the document of the dialogue, Nostra Aetate Declaration of Second Vatican Council of 28th of October 1965. So I will try to, discuss with you and the context of the document within a broader the framework. Okay, first of all, the Human Fraternity document, which was published and announced to the world on 4th October 2019, is a unique document where we have to admit it, because it's a document co-prepared, co-written, and then co-signed by two important world religious leaders, in this case Pope Francis and Ahmed Al-Tayyib, who is the head of the Al-Azhar University, which is considered the most prestigious theological university in the Sunni world, but as well as sometimes Shia world, because also some Shia scholars go there and study that. And as you remember, also as a long history of the institution, which was actually founded by Shia scholars, Fatimid period in Egypt. And that's why it's important, because it is a concrete collaboration from the very beginning, and it's a fruit of long encounters and friendships between two parts, the Catholics and the Muslims. And at the end, two leadership offered to the both communities an important document, which actually gave a concrete, I will say, step further for this long journey, long pilgrimage, long itinerance, if I would use the the Franciscan term. It's important to contextualize it, especially from a broader perspective, because this document, why it just is published in that year, it's a very important year, as we can just recall 5 years ago, we were talking about a lot about that, because that was the 800th anniversary of an important encounter in the history, the encounter between Saint Francis of Assisi and the Egyptian king Al-Malik, Sultan Al-Malik. They met during the Crusades, and that was one of the most important, I would say, steps in the history of reconciliation and encounter between Christian and Muslims, even during very difficult times, as was it happening during the Crusades. So Saint Francis disarmed and totally dedicating himself to encounter and the reconciliation, and he was received that time by the Sultan again with peace and hospitality. And Pope Francis and Ahmed El Tayyib would like to remind actually to the world the importance of this meeting through this document. And as you know, also that encounter was picked up by Pope Francis, Holy Father, in his encyclical Fratelli Tutti, and just as a source of inspiration, of course, also since the very beginning of his pontificate, since the 13th of March 2013, Pope Francis underlines the importance of his inspiration for this, for the name that he opted for his pontificate. So it's not only underlining the importance of poverty, not only underlining the dedication to God, but also the very understanding of dialogue of Francis of Assisi, especially with the Muslim world. So that's why I think it's, of course, a coincidence that a pope whose name is Francis would like to focus on this anniversary, the historical anniversary, with this document. And of course, this document, as I was saying at the beginning, it's just, not only something that's happening within a particular year, but it's a long journey of Muslim Catholic-Muslim relations. Because starting with the Nostra Aetate, that was, of course, started in a very historical moment after Shoah, reconciliation with the Jewish people, but then just added to Muslims, Buddhists, and Hindus. And for the long decades, there have been so many steps further, especially conducted by the Holy See, by the Pontifical Council for Interreligious Dialogue. At that time, for instance, at the beginning of the Pontifical Council for Relations with Non-Christians, then became Pontifical Council for Interreligious Dialogue. Today we call it the Dicastery for Interreligious Dialogue, with its own new name. And then inviting Muslim participants to different meetings. And then, as we have already heard from the previous speech, also the apostolic visits of popes in the Muslim majority countries, Pope John II in Morocco, Paul VI again, John Paul II and Benedict XVI, and Pope Francis afterwards in Turkey, and Albania, and other different countries in Africa and Middle East. But that was a period not much more focusing on Christian-Muslim relations, but always in every meeting there have been some references. But we have started talking about more and more Catholic-Muslim relations with an important event that was the Regensburg lecture of Pope Benedict XVI in Regensburg, Germany, when he was doing his apostolic visit to Germany, to his native country. And during this lecture, it was about Enthellenisierung, de-Hellenization of the Christian message, but he made a reference to to Muslim world, that started a debate between Christians and Muslims at that time. And then just let me remind you a fact which is very relevant and important, because just after the Regensburg speech and some reactions, and sometimes unfortunately some violent reactions in some Muslim majority countries, and the Pope Benedict underlined a very important fact that I would like to today link it to the Human Fraternity document, because Pope Benedict, just after his return from Germany in the general audience, but in several times when he was asked about his opinion about the Regensburg lecture and its aftermath, he underlined several times that the Catholic-Muslim relations, especially the relations between the Holy See Vatican and the Catholic Church and the Muslim world, they are determined by the declaration Nostra Aetate, which is a declaration of the Second Vatican Council, which is linked to another important document, dogmatic constitution of the Second Vatican Council, Lumen Gentium number 16. In this case, Nostra Aetate number 3. They are the two important parts of the Second Vatican Council, which actually gives the vision of the Catholic Church. And let us remember the Lumen Gentium number 16, which underlines that the Catholic Church sees the Muslims as in the plan of salvation, because they have faith in one God, the God of Abraham, and also the hereafter. And that was underlined by Pope Benedict even in his apostolic visit to Turkey and the feast of the Saint Andrew around 13th of November. And he again underlined that Christians and Muslims believe in one God, the God of Abraham, the unique God, the one God that was also underlined by the document declaration Nostra Aetate. Why I'm talking about it's very crucial to understand, because that was an important step to further and to deepen a theological also dialogue between Catholics and the Muslims, because a group of Muslim leaders on 13th of October 2007 published a document. And that document, a common word between us. And that document refers to Quranic verse, which makes a call to Ahl al-Kitab, to people of God, to people of book, the people of God, book, to come together and around the one word. And that one word is mentioned as the believing in one God. I mean, that was, that the call of Pope Benedict just after Regensburg, underlining that Muslims and Christians believing in one God, God of Abraham, and which is already mentioned clearly, explicitly, Nostra Aetate, also, received as an element to respond, not only to Pope Benedict, but to all Christian leaders around the world, like Ecumenical Patriarch of Constantinople, Bartolomeo, and that time Rome Williams, the Anglican, the Archbishop of Canterbury, and also all Christian leaders in the Orthodox Protestant communities. And Pope Benedict received this at the beginning 38 Muslims, and they became 138. First of all, as a preparatory meeting at the first part of the 2008, but then also 6th of November 2008, he received this group of people and they addressed them. And he addressed, while addressing this group of people and Muslim leaders, he underlined that there are several differences between Christian and Muslim theologies, and which is also obvious till today. It's not something changed, but still that Muslims and Christians are called to dialogue, to encounter, and to work together. And I think it's an important fact to remember, because sometimes without enough information and the details of these encounters and the aftermath, which if it remains at a superficial level without enough information, it's interpreted like a rupture and against the continuous efforts of the Catholic Church with the Muslim world. And I would rather see the pontificate of the Pope Benedict from this perspective, not a rupture, but also preparation, what we are calling today as a success of the human fraternity document, because it paved a way of dialoguing, especially a theological dialogue at the moment, to go further. And going back to the main issue, because we have limited time, and the Human Fraternity document is a fruit of a long journey of dialogue with the Muslim world, but especially for people from Ashab, because also when the church fathers, the council fathers, when they were preparing Nostra Aetate, the document, having heard the bishops from the Muslim world to enlarge and enrich the Nostra Aetate with the Muslim contribution, they were also in contact at that time with the theologians from the SR University, because it has the Catholic Church has a long history with that university and with Cairo through the Dominican, Jesuit, and Franciscan experts who have been dealing with, and also Comboniani, White Fathers. I can just enlarge. So many Catholic orders have been engaging in dialogue since the beginning of 20th century at that level with the Muslim world. Most of them also inspired by Louis Massignon, who actually started the idea of the being of the brothers and sisters as the children of Abraham, of three religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, and also who was inspired by him, the Saint Charles de Foucault, which was canonized by Pope Francis, also vis-a-vis this idea of the fraternity of the document, and also fraternity, which is also underlined in Fratelli Tutti. Okay, the document had, of course, a big surprise also for the Muslim world, as you can recall, and one of the persons who was crucial as I will say, a mediator between two leaders, between Pope Francis and Ahmed al-Taib, was the Judge Mohammed Abdel Salam, who successfully became the Secretary General of the Muslim Council of Elders. And this Muslim Council published different appreciations about the document. In one of them, the Judge Abdel Salam sharing the idea of the Muslim Council and the document, saying that the historical document on human fraternity represents a global call to all members of the human family to promote peace and mutual respect. Okay, this was an important underlining, because at after the aftermath of the one word initiative, common word initiative, also some Muslim countries also opted for documents. To remember, like the Marrakesh Declaration, Bahrain Declaration, or Mecca Charter, 2019, just after this document. There are several documents that's just a fruit of this idea of publishing declarations. But in this call, as Judge Mohammed Abdel Salam underlines, this is a global call, because more empowered this time, not only Catholic Church as she has been doing for decades, but not only a Muslim leadership, but and and from the Muslim world, not only a particular country, but a religious spiritual leader joining this document, and that's why that's an important call. And on the other hand, for instance, this document became an important guideline for Muslims, because Muslim countries actively participated to the establishment of the International Day of Human Fraternity as 4th of February at the UN level. So that started the next 1 year later of the document. And that International Day celebrated in different parts of the Muslim world with conferences, workshops at university level, and also some other previous initiatives of Muslim-Christian relations also enriched by this commemoration. Let me quote some theologians who have been engaging in dialogue with Catholic Church for many decades, living in Rome. One of them is an Iranian woman theologian, Shehrazad Hushmand. She calls this document is like a date, the fruit from the tree of encounter, like a ripple that pushes us to adjust erroneous and obtuse interpretations of our religion. And Shahrazad Hushmand, a woman theologian from Iran, sees this document as a great opportunity to deepen our mutual understanding and the sharing it with the whole world. Another Muslim theologian of Algerian and Tunisian origin, Adnan Mokrani, who teaches at the Pontifical Gregorian University, he says, I quote, Islam and Christianity have a common mission. And he says, he clarifies the role of Islam and Christianity is now today showing the human face of God to today's world. Okay, I'm finishing. To today's world. And that's why this document is an important tool to show to the world how Christians and Muslims believing in one God could, do their work, dialogue as an action and collaboration, embracing the whole world. Okay, as a conclusion, I would like to add with that, the whole document as with its references, even though it's not mentioned with references to the Bible and Quran, inviting Muslims and Christians work together and involving also lay people, non-believers, for the human fraternity. But towards the 60th anniversary of Nestoritate, in which there is still a task for Muslims, Christians. I'm underlining that, but this document is important, making call for Muslim Christians. But even in 28th of October 1965, the Nostra Declaration number 3, addressing still Muslims, saying that this sacred synod calls Christian Muslims together, forgetting the past, and work together for social justice, peace, freedom, and moral values. I will say this document of human fraternity is a concrete step further with all its references to citizenship, for religious freedom, protection of the place of worship, and protection of vulnerable categories like orphans, widows, immigrants, refugees, etc. And that's why I would say it brings us a great opportunity to celebrate next year's 60th anniversary of Nostra Aetate with concrete examples and actions. Thank you for your attention.